Programming class. So today we will study about the three standard files which are supported in Unix. Actually there are different types of special files supported in Unix. So these are three standard files. The question may come, the types of files. We have studied earlier, right, the types of files in Unix. They are regular files, directory files, FIFO files, device files, link files, isn't it? So those are the different types of files. But if the question comes on standard files, then you need to write three standard files. The question may be like that only, or simply it may be asked as explain the standard files in Unix. Okay, so then you have to give this answer, you have to discuss these files. Okay, so here we are discussing the three standard files. So these files, actually these standard files are standard input, standard output and standard error. Okay, these three files are standard input, standard output and standard error. So these are the actually the streams of characters. Okay, stream means usually what? Stream means it is a flow of something, right? So streams are flow of something, so collection of something. So here it is collection of characters. Okay, it is a collection of characters. Stream means it is a sequence of bytes. When user logs in, shell makes user available these streams. Okay, whenever user logs into the system, the user will be available with these streams. So user can anytime use these streams. It will be open for usage. Each stream is associated with a default device. Okay, every stream, either standard input or standard output or standard error, are associated with default device. So each device, each stream can be connected to multiple devices. Suppose if you take standard input, there are multiple input devices, right? So it can be a keyboard, mouse, stylus, or it may be a file. You can take input from a file, or you can take input from a mic, isn't it? So any input device you can use for taking the input, but by default the standard input is associated with some device. We will see what are those. Okay, and that default device can be changed. Okay, so let us see about the standard input. So the standard input stream or file. So we have seen everything in Unix is a file, right? So the stream is also in the form of a file. The standard input is also in the form of a file. Okay, so this standard input is a file which is representing input. Okay, which is representing the input, and it is by default connected to keyboard. Okay, input device keyboard. By default input will be always taken from the keyboard, but you can unhook this connection with keyboard. Standard input connection with keyboard you can unhook, and you can make it some other device. Okay, you can take input from a file, or you can take input from a mouse or anything else. Okay, any other input device you can unhook that connection, and you can take input from any other device. Okay, we will see how to do that, right? Okay, the standard input by default is connected to the keyboard. Okay, then the standard output file is representing the output. Okay, so whenever a device generates any output, that output will be present or available in the standard output. Similarly, standard input means whenever a function is expecting some input, and a command or an operation is expecting some input, it will take from the standard input. Okay, and by default standard input is connected to keyboard, and by default the standard output is connected to the display, that means the monitor. Okay, by default it is connected to the monitor. Then standard error. See, this is an interesting one. It is a file which represents all error messages. Okay, any operation you perform, for example, you are trying to display the contents of a file, and that file is not existing on your system, then error message will be displayed, unknown file name or something like that, isn't it? So that error message will come from the command or the shell. Okay, so either the command or the shell. If there is a problem with the command, like if you, instead of CAT, if you type COT, then it is a spelling mistake and that command is not found, then error will be coming from the shell. But if you give cat f100 and that f100 file is not existing in your system, then the error message will come from the command, because you are giving a wrong argument to the command. If you are giving a wrong command to the shell, then shell will give you the error message, but if you are giving a wrong argument to the command, then command will give you the error message. Okay, so error message may come from the command or the shell. Okay, so that error message will be always displayed on the screen itself, right? It is nowhere else displayed or stored. It will always be all the error messages will be displayed on the display device itself by default. Hence the standard error stream is also by default connected to the display device. Okay, so these are the three different streams, standard files from the Unix, standard files which are supported by Unix, and they are available to the user whenever a user logs in. Okay, let us see in detail about the standard input. The three input sources from where the input can be obtained for any operation. Any operation, cat command you execute, ls command you execute, wc command you execute, any command you execute on Unix, it needs some input like arguments, right? So it may be some text or it may be a file, some input it requires. Okay, so that input is available in the standard input. Okay, so there are three input sources for the standard input. So keyboard, from keyboard, which is a default source, you can obtain the input, or a file, you can take input from a file itself. The contents of a file can also be input for a command. How you can take? Using a redirection symbol. This one you have used greater than symbol, right? Now you will be using less than symbol for taking input. Greater than symbol is for redirection, redirecting the output of a command to store in a file. But here this is less than symbol. This is if you take a file, from this file some command can get the input. Okay, this command will get the input from this file using this redirection symbol. Okay, so that is another source of input for standard input. And then a program using pipeline. Pipeline also uses the standard input. How the pipeline uses the standard input? In the previous class we have seen that pipeline will be used like this, right? Command 1, command 2, right? So now the output of command 1 will serve as an input to the command 2, right? So output of command 1 will go to command 2 as an input. But how this transfer will happen? Actually, first the output of the command 1 will be stored in the standard output. So as you know, any output command will be available on the standard output, and then it is transferred to standard input, and from there it is transferred to command 2. Okay, so command 2 is taking input from standard input, and command 1 is giving the output to the standard output, and the standard output will send the input to the standard input. Okay, that is what it happens when you are using a pipeline. Did you understand? See what happens when you use a pipeline. Command 1's output will serve as an input to command 2. But how? Actually command 1 will generate some output which is stored in standard output, and that standard output will give that output to standard input, and standard input in turn will give it to command 2. Okay, that is how the transfer happens from command 1 to command 2. Okay, so here standard output and standard input both will come into picture, right? That is how the pipeline works. So in the pipeline both standard input and standard output will be used. Is that clear? So for example, if you use wc command, what it will do? It will count this input and display. Okay, it will count the input and display. Then it will control D. See what you are doing here is, usually how we use the wc command, we will use the wc command with some file name, right? we say like this, WC F1. What WC will do? WC is for word count, right? So it will take the contents of file F1 and it will give you the word count. Word count means number of lines, number of words, number of characters, right? It will give you. But here in this example, we are not giving any file name as argument. So what it will count? It will take this text what we have given after this WC. Okay, so when you say WC and press enter, then it will give you the space to enter the input for which it has to give the word count. Okay, so then you type some contents and then say Control D to stop the contents. Okay, to end the entering of contents. Then what it will do? It will give you the output. Okay, so here it will give you the output, that is how many words are there. 2 lines are there. There are 5 words and some number of characters. It will display here as the output. Okay, we'll execute this and see. Fine. So next example is, this is how you are using standard input. This content is from the standard input, that is keyboard, right? You are taking this input from the keyboard because we are typing this content instantly, right? So it is taking the input from the keyboard, that is the default source, this one. Next we'll see how it will take the input from the redirection symbol. This redirection symbol we'll see. See here, WC less than sample.txt. So what it will do? This WC command will take the input from sample.txt. Okay, it will take the input from the sample.txt. So whatever the content of sample.txt is there, that will be counted and the word count of which will be given. Okay, so it is telling that there are 3 lines, 14 words and 71 characters. Okay, that is how you can do. So what is the use of this? Simply if you give WC and sample.txt, then also it will do the same thing. Okay, then also it will take the input from sample without this less than symbol. If you don't use, then also it will take the contents from sample file and give you this word count. What is the use of using this? So this is for making the command ignorant of the source. This command is ignorant of the source. From where the input is coming to the command, it will not be knowing. Okay, from where the command is getting the input, it will not be knowing. Okay, that is helpful in that case. Okay, so now what happens here? Sample.txt, just a moment. Okay, this sample.txt will give its contents to the standard input, and then from standard input WC will take the contents and then it will find out this word count. So WC will not at all be knowing from where the input is coming. Okay, from where the input is coming, WC will not be knowing. It will be ignorant of the source of the input. Many a times it is necessary that the command shouldn't know from where the input is coming. In that case, this will be helpful. So sometimes you may also want to send some message to some person, but you don't want your name to be mentioned there, right? That message to be reached to that person, but from where that message has come, you don't want that person to know. In that case, you want that person to be ignorant of the source of the message. In that case, you can use such kind of placeholders, right? So here standard input is acting as a placeholder who will send the contents of sample.txt to WC file, and then WC file will give you the word count. Okay, so here to keep the command ignorant of its source, you will use this less than symbol as input source. Okay, so next, on the above command execution, on seeing this symbol less than symbol, the shell will open the disk file which is sample.txt for reading. It unplugs standard input file from default source. Which is the default source of standard input? It is the keyboard, right? So that keyboard connection, because standard input is by default connected to the keyboard, so that connection will be unplugged. Okay, and then it will connect that standard input to this file standard.txt or sample.txt. okay, so it will unplug the connection with keyboard and plug the connection with sample.txt, and then WC will read from standard input but not directly from the sample.txt. But if you say WC sample.txt, then WC will directly read from sample.txt. But in this case, sample.txt WC command will not read directly from sample.txt. Rather, the standard input will fetch the contents of sample.txt and WC will read from standard input, not directly from sample.txt. okay, that is how this works. Okay, then next some examples of how to use the standard input. Look at this example, it is so good. Cat dash, there is a hyphen. Okay, there is a hyphen. Hyphen in a command represents the standard input. Okay, that standard input means by default where it is connected to, it is connected to the keyboard, right? So from keyboard you will take the contents. So what you will do here, cat dash F1 means some content you can give from the keyboard, and then after that content you can display the contents of the F file. Okay, some message you can display and then contents of F file you can display. Cat is to display the contents of the file, right? So whatever you give from standard input, that will be displayed, and then the contents of the file F1 will be displayed. Similarly, in this case, first the contents of the file F1 will be displayed, then some contents from keyboard will be taken and that will be displayed, and then the contents of the F2 file will be displayed. Okay, so likewise, cat means concatenation, right? So it is taking contents of all these, contents of file F1, contents of keyboard, and the contents of the F2. So everything will be merged in a single content, and then you can redirect it. Okay, you can redirect all these contents to some other file. Let us say file 10. Okay, to this file 10, the contents of file 1 will be entered first, then some input from the keyboard, and then the contents of the file F2. All these things will be merged and then it will be entered into F10 file. Okay, so that will be a very excellent one, right? Similarly, here another example, ls pipelined with WC. As I said, pipeline means the command 1 output will be given as an input to the command 2. So what it is doing, ls pipelined with WC means the output of ls is it will display all the files and directories in your current directory, that will be taken and will be given to WC. So what WC will do, it will count the number of words. You can give WC minus W. If you give minus W, it will count all the words, right? So it will count all the words means all file names it will count, and it will tell you how many number of files are there in your current directory, right? This we have used in previous explanation also, right? So here this is possible. So how it will do, ls will send its output to standard output, then that standard output will send the content of output of ls to standard input, and from standard input it will be sent to WC. So that is how the working of pipeline happens. Okay, ls will send its output to standard output, then standard output will send the output of ls to standard input, and then from standard input WC will be provided with the output of ls. Okay, that is how it executes. Okay, before going to standard output, let us execute the commands of standard input and come back to standard output. Okay, let us check WC without any arguments. WC without any arguments, when you enter, then it will ask you to enter the contents from the keyboard. So now keyboard means it is by default connected to standard input. So WC is taking value from the standard input, right? So you can type some content here. Good morning. Okay, so then I will say Control D to end the input. So what it is giving you, it is giving you there are two lines You can see here there are 2 lines, 2 words and 13 characters it is giving you, right? So WC, it is not necessary that you should always give a file as an argument, but by default you can standard input is connected to keyboard, and from that standard input only you can give the input to the WC. Okay, so like you can, if you say WC F1, it will give you the word count of F1. But without argument, if you say, then you can give some content here. Then it will give you the word count of the content what you have given here, right? So that is how you can use the standard input, which is by default connected to your keyboard. Okay. Next, let us use the less than symbol, which is another source of standard input. See, if you say WC F1, it will give you the word count of F1. But if you say WC less than symbol and then F1, then also it is giving you the same thing. So you know, observe one thing here. Then also it is giving you 3320 only, which is the word count of F1 file. But you can notice one thing, that here it is telling you from where the input is coming, that is from the F1 file. But in the second case, here in the output you can see there is no file name mentioned here, right? So here in this output the file name is not mentioned, because WC doesn't know from where the input is coming, because F1's content will be placed in standard input and WC is fetching from the standard input. So WC doesn't know from where the input is coming. It is taking directly from the standard input the contents of F1. Hence the source of the input it is not displaying. Is that clear? That is how you can use the standard input with WC. Let us use that hyphen symbol now. Let us say, let us clear the contents. Let us say cat hyphen represents the standard input. Okay, and standard input by default is connected to keyboard, so contents will be taken from the keyboard. Okay, so first contents, cat will display the contents of whatever it takes from the keyboard, and then followed by the contents of F1. Okay, so now it is waiting so that you can enter some contents. Okay, I will enter hello and then it will display hello. Then if I say Control D, then it will also display the contents of F1. Okay, first it has displayed the contents of keyboard standard input, and then it has displayed the contents of file F1. Okay, that is how you can use standard input with a hyphen symbol. Similarly, another time if you say F1 hyphen F2, now you are giving 3 arguments to cat: F1, standard input and F2. Now let us see what happens. Enter. Now it is giving you the content of F1 file, and next it is waiting for the input from the standard input. Okay, now I will say some contents from the standard input. I will say Unix, then I will say enter, then I will say Control D. Now see what it is doing. So both F1 and F2 are containing same content, it seems. So hello, good morning, which is the content of F1 file. This first one is the content of F1 file. Then it is displaying the content which I have given through the keyboard, which is Unix here, and then it is displaying the contents of F2 file. Okay, so it is doing like that: F1 standard input, F2. Okay, then let us say ls pipelined with WC. Now what? First let us check the command, the output of ls. This is the output of ls command. Okay, see, ls command will display the contents in ASCII collating sequence. ASCII collating sequence means numbers first, then capital letters, then small letters. So you can see here 0 1 is there. Okay, then AIT, ATC, Acharya, D1, M1, MV, my documents, all those are starting with capital letters, and then it is followed by small letters, and small letters again in sorted sequence. Okay, so that is called as ASCII collating sequence. Numbers first, capital letter next, and then the small letters. And you can also see some colored file names here. See, these files which are in blue color, they represent the directories, and this light blue color represent the link file, and these files, what you can see, this F2 and F1. Okay, this F2 and F1 file are in green color, that represent that they are executable files. Okay, so these exstat and all, they are executable files. So how will you come to know that it is an executable file? If you say ls minus l f1 f2, then you can see it has execution permission, right? It has execution permission, that's why they are in green color. Okay, we can also check that with ls minus f. See what happens here, all the directories are suffixed with a slash. You can see here Acharya is suffixed with a slash. All the directories which are in blue color, you can see earlier color notations were not there, so these symbols were used to differentiate the different types of files. So now here colors are there, but still that notations are still maintained, backward compatibility is still there. So slash for all directories it is suffixed. Then you can see that @ symbol for link file is suffixed, and you can see that the executable files have a star at the end. Okay, so these three different notations will be displayed by ls for to represent different types of files. Okay, simply if you say ls, then it will not be displayed. You can just check. Simply if you say ls, the notations will not be displayed, those symbols are not suffixed. Okay, then if you say ls pipelined with wc, then it will count. So now wc, instead of wc we can give wc minus w, which will display the words, the count of words from the output of ls. So how many number of files are there, it will display. There are 57 files in my current directory. Okay, so that is how you can use. So now this pipeline is also working with standard input and standard output. Okay, now let us check with standard output. So here also there are three possible destinations. See, for input we say sources, but for output we say destinations, because output will go to destinations, input will come from sources, right? So three possible destinations are the terminal, which is the monitor, which is a default destination. Like as for standard input we have default source is keyboard, for standard output we have the default destination is the terminal, which is the monitor, display terminal. Okay, then you can use these symbols, greater than and double greater than symbol for standard output. We will use this. We have already used this greater than symbol, but double greater than we'll see for what. And then you can also use a pipeline for standard output. As I told you, the standard output of first command will go to the standard input, and from standard input the second command will take the input, right? So this is already we have discussed. Okay, then let us see the usage of this symbol. See, by default any command's output will be displayed on the terminal, that is display terminal, right? So by default the standard output is connected to terminal, the output of any command, first it will go to standard output, and then from standard output to the device to which it is connected. By default, standard output is connected to the display terminal. To that it will display the output. Okay. So now let us see. WC is sample.txt. Now it will give you, this command will give you the word count of sample.txt, and then that output will not be displayed on the screen. So what we are doing, we are unplugging the default connection to display terminal, and we are plugging it with a file called new file. Okay. So the output of the word count of sample.txt will be redirected to a file called new file. Hence, the output is not displayed on the default device which is connected to standard output, which is monitor. It will not be displayed on this display device, but rather it will be redirected to a file which is new file. Okay. Then if you say cat new file, the word count of sample.txt will be available there. Okay. Now, if you say this double greater than, what happens? So this double greater than is used for appending to a file. Okay, appending to an existing file. Appending means entering some extra content at the end of the file without disturbing the previous contents. Okay, so here it will not disturb the previous contents, but the end of the file, suppose the some contents are there in a file, then at the end of the file some more contents will be appended. Okay, that is the work of this double greater than symbol. Okay, so what it will do, this command will find the word count of sample.txt, and then it will append that to the end of the new file. Okay, this is the new file, let us say. So at the end of the new file, here the output of the wc command will be appended. Okay, that is what the meaning of this command is. Is that clear? Okay, let us see some more commands. So here, if we say cat star.c, what happens? Cat star.c means it will display the contents of star.c, means all the files which are having .c as extension, right? We discussed it when we discussed about the wildcards, right? So star.c means all the files which are having .c as extension. That means all C program files. Contents will be displayed, but it will not display on the display screen. On the screen it will not display, rather it is redirected to a file called cprograms.txt. It is so wonderful, right? All C programs which you have executed will be stored in a single file. So you are available with all C programs in a single file, isn't it? That is so fantastic. Then the next command says ls-l star.c, means it is displaying long list of all the C files, and then this command is displaying all the C files. First, ls command will display the long list of all C files. Second, cat command will display the contents of all C files. Both output combined together, because we are using this parenthesis, right? Both output combined together, it will be redirected to cprograms.txt. So what you will be available with now in cprograms.txt, you will be available with the long list, all the attributes of those C files and contents of those C files, one after the other, will be stored in a file called cprograms.txt. And then the pipeline we have just discussed. The output of ls will go to standard output. From standard input, standard output, standard input will take, and from standard input wc will take. Output of ls will go to standard output will transfer it to standard input, and from standard input wc command will take. Okay, that is how in the pipeline both standard input and standard output will come into picture. Okay, is that clear? Let us execute these commands and check. Okay, look here, wc sample.txt I am giving. As I don't have a file in my directory called sample.txt, it is wc command is displaying the output. See, command is displaying the error message that sample.txt is not existing, the shell is not displaying. Okay, but if you give some command which is not existing, then the shell will give you the output that command doesn't exist, no command fhj found. Okay, so shell will display the error message. If argument is wrong, then command will display the error message, but if the command itself is wrong, then shell will display the error message. Okay, then let us see wc f1, and then let us see, if you do this, the output will be displayed on the screen itself. But if you say wc f1 and then use greater than symbol for redirection, and let us say some new file, let us say new f, okay, new file. Now that output has gone to a new file, it is not displaying on the screen. See that unplugging has happened. By default, standard output is connected to the terminal, but now it is unplugged and that output is going to a file and not on the standard terminal, standard output device. Okay, now you say cat new file, the output of wc command will be displayed, right? Now let us say ls let us say f star. What is f star? All the files starting with letter f. Okay, so this will be appended. Okay, this should be appended. Okay, let us append the contents to new file. What is there already in the new file? The word count of f1, and now we are also displaying the list of all the files which are starting with f to the new file, but at the end it will append. Okay, so let us see the content of new file. See what it is there. In the first line already which we have stored, right? This is the word count of f1, and after that all the files which are starting with letter f are stored. It is appended without disturbing the previous contents. Okay, that is how you can use to greater than symbol. Okay, look at this command. I have displayed all the contents of the file with .c, all files with .c extension. Okay, so which are the files with .c extension? Let us check. star.c. So these are the files: emp.c, leap.c, sort.c, student.c. So the contents of all these files are displayed here with cat star.c. Okay, these are the .c files. We can store the contents of all these C files in a file like cat star.c and redirect it to another file. Let us say program dot, okay, we can say C programs .txt, enter. So all the contents of C files are stored in C programs.txt. So you can say cat C programs.txt then it will display the contents of all the C files which are stored. Okay, so that is how all the C program files you can store in a single file. All the C programs you can store in a single file. Okay, let us look at the standard error, which is again by default connected to monitor. Okay, display screen. Each standard file is represented by a number. So each standard files means standard output, standard input, standard output and standard error. All of them are represented by a file descriptor. File descriptor is nothing but a number given to all the open files which are present openly used in the Unix system. Okay, so which are the files which you have opened currently? For all of them a file descriptor will be given. Using that file descriptor is nothing but a integer like this. Okay, that file descriptor will be used for accessing that file. Okay, but first three file descriptors, that is 0, 1 and 0, so it is 1 and 2, not 2 and 3, sorry, we make that correction. 0, 1 and 2 will be used. Okay, 0, 1 and 2 will be used. This is 1, this is 2. Okay, so 0, 1 and 2 used for standard input, standard output and standard error, and after that 3, 4, 5 etc. will be used for other files which are later opened. Okay, so these three files will be opened and will be always available for the user whenever a user logs in. Okay, so these this 0, 1 and 2 are used for representing standard input, standard output and standard error. See how you can use them. You can use them like this. See, either this less than symbol or 0 less than you can use, both are same. Either greater than for redirection, either greater than or 1 greater than you can use, which is 1 is nothing but the file descriptor. Okay, 1 is nothing but the file descriptor which will be used for standard representing standard output. So that will be stored, that will be used. Either you can use greater than or 1 greater than, or you can use for standard error 2 greater than. Okay, so greater than symbol simply you cannot use. For error streams you have to use 2 greater than. That means it is representing the error stream. Okay, because standard output and standard error both are connected by default to the display terminal, right? Output of the command or error message of the command, both are displayed on the system itself, on the monitor itself, right? So how to represent, how to differentiate between the output and the error messages using this descriptor. 1 greater than or simply greater than represent the standard output, 2 greater than, that symbol will represent the standard error stream. Okay, let us see some examples. Cat F1, when you say if F1 doesn't exist, okay, let us say if F1 file is not existing, then it will, the cat command will give you the error message, cannot open the file F1 because it is not existing. So, but if you say cat F1 and this error message you want to redirect, okay, this error message if you want to redirect and you use redirection symbol, it will not be redirected to error file because this is by default this is representing the standard output and by default it is connected to the display screen itself, so it will display here only. So it will not be redirected to a file called error file. Okay, so error messages are by default connected to monitor display screen. So in order to represent the error messages, you have to write 2 greater than, then error stream it will represent. Any error message will be available on the error stream and error stream is accessed by 2 greater than symbol, and that error message you can redirect to error file like this. Okay, now in the error file this error message will be available. Okay, that is how you can use the standard error stream with the 2 and greater than symbol combination. Okay, so now if you say cat error file, then the error message, which is this one, which is stored here because of this command, will be displayed. Okay, so suppose if you say, see this double greater than also you can use along with the error 2, single greater than or double greater than. What is double greater than? Previously we have studied about 2 greater than, right? That means it is appending, right? It is appending. That means to the error file at the end it will append some contents, right? So then if you say cat F1 greater than, see it is combination here, greater than F2, that means contents of file F1 will be displayed, but it is not displayed on the screen, rather it is directed to file F2. And if F2, if any error messages in displaying this, that will be redirected to error file because of this. output of cat F1 will be displayed or will be stored into or redirected to F2 file. But if there are any error messages generated while displaying the contents of F1, that error message will be redirected to error file. See, while executing some program, if it is generating regular error messages which are not of our interest, then you can simply redirect all error messages to some file and it will continue executing the program, right? That is how you can use the error stream. Standard error stream is represented by a file descriptor 2 with greater than symbol, and error messages are available in the error stream. Error stream is represented by 2 and greater than symbol, and that will be stored in this error file. Okay, and you can take that content of error stream and store in some file. Okay, is that clear? So that is about the standard input, standard output and standard error. Let us execute them and see. Okay, let me say cat F200, which F200 file is not available in my system. So what it will do, it will give you an error message, no such file or directory. But if you would like to redirect this error message to some file, like let me say error file, it will not be redirected, rather it will be displayed on the screen itself, because we are not redirecting the error message. We are not through the greater than symbol, we can only take the contents of standard output but not standard error. To go to standard error, you have to use 2 and greater than symbol. You have to leave a space there in order to give a separation. 2 greater than, then you can say error file. Okay, now the error is also redirected to error file. Okay, now you can check the contents of error file. Let us say cat error file. Then the error is stored in the error file. Okay, so now you can also append some content to error file. Let us say cat F500, which is also